Hey guys, so today I've got some news for you, and the majority of you actually might not know that, but how the whole Easy Peasy Ecom channel kind of arrived and came to fruition is everything started in a podcast, right? So often I was never comfortable on video. I was always scared to kind of say the wrong thing or look stupid or whatever. So in the very beginning, I just started with a podcast, and that was the Easy Peasy Sourcing Podcast. And the Easy Peasy Sourcing Podcast started already years ago, and it was all about sourcing. Was like just sourcing and sourcing and sourcing and sourcing. And every week ish, I published a podcast, and we spoke about sourcing. We spoke about a little bit of mindset things later, but and the very first episodes are really awkward. So if you want to hear that, if you want to go back to hear me a little bit more awkwardly, and then you just head over to the links in the description. There are the links to that old podcast. Now, for the last 2 months or so, we haven't done anything with the podcast. So initially we kept it alive, and every time we published a YouTube video, we took the audio and we put it up there. But then somehow we fell off the bandwagon, and it wasn't happening anymore. Now, however, I'm getting so much feedback, and I'm getting people to book calls with me through the podcast that I really want to bring it back to life, right? So, and I also know that a lot of you guys don't always have time to watch videos, right? So you guys working out, you're going for a walk, you're on a drive, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the Easy Peasy Sourcing Podcast back to life, and we're gonna rename it. We're still gonna be speaking about sourcing, but we're also gonna be speaking about e-commerce and basically everything that we post on this channel that isn't or doesn't require you to visually follow, or that isn't a tutorial, or that isn't me drawing something on a whiteboard. All of that kind of stuff is gonna be translated into the podcast. So you're gonna be finding the podcast anywhere where you like to listen to podcasts, whether that's iTunes, Spotify, I don't know the others. There's so many more, but we basically publish to everywhere. And so if you like to follow this channel in audio form, just head over to the links in the description. We publish all the we put all the links to everything, and if you like that, then I would love your support, and you can write me a review via iTunes preferably, or use your preferred medium to do that. We're gonna be updating all of those episodes, but if you go in now, you're actually gonna find some gems that haven't been on YouTube. So there was a time before publishing on YouTube, and I remember the very first times when I just started the podcast, it was so awkward because I couldn't do it in front of people. Like the very first episodes I did, I got my new microphone and I was so happy. I got this kind of, I got this mic, guys. And I did it in the very beginning, and it was so awkward because I was so not confident. So I scripted out the whole things, and I had like step by step, every word scripted, and it took me like 3-4 hours to publish, to prepare an episode, and then, to record it, and then the recording every time I said an or I wasn't, like I lost the point of what I was talking about. I cut it, so I cut it all out, and then I had 60 minutes of recording, and I compressed it down to 20 minutes, and it was a really awkward thing, but it kind of took the fear of speaking and the fear of getting in front of people, in front of a camera, kind of got that out of the way, right? And it took some time, right? So if any of you are thinking about publishing any sort of content, like, you just gotta go with it. It's been taking me a long time to get started, and now looking back, it's like recording a podcast episode is so simple. You just sit down and you talk, right? But in the very beginning, it wasn't like that. So now a lot of people see me on video and say, hey, you're so comfortable on video. The people on my team that want to do their own content say, hey, I would love to do my own content, but I'm a bit, I still have to get over myself. And like, we have the perfect setup here. Like, we have 2 film studios actually here, where you just sit down, you press record, and you go, right? But there's a fear to that, and I understand that. And the same fear it's the same fear that goes for starting a business, or publishing, or going live with your Facebook ads, all of that. Like, eventually you just gotta do it, right? In the beginning, you're gonna suck, and then you're gonna suck a little less, and eventually you suck so little that you're actually good. And that is where we want to go to, right? So I encourage everyone who wants to do content to do that, and who wants to start anything. You just gotta do it, you gotta start it. And if you want to see basically how I was struggling and how awkwardly I was when I was just starting out, just head over to the links in the podcast, head over to the Easy Peasy Sourcing Podcast, and have a look for yourself. Also, I have a cool announcement, because we're going to start a second channel and a second podcast. So the podcast is going to be, or the channel is going to be, Next Level Entrepreneur. It's not there yet, so make sure to subscribe to this channel so you notice once we're live. We already recorded some podcast episodes episode, and that is really more an entrepreneurial show that gets into your mindset and into the actually important things. We have some cool guests on that are in the 6-figure, 7-figure, even 8-figure level, and I'm sharing there with you on that show. So how it's going to run in the future is that we continue to do the Easy Peasy Ecom YouTube channel. We continue to do the Easy Peasy Sourcing podcast. We just rename it and rebrand it to the Easy Peasy Ecom podcast. So it's one thing, it's the same thing, whether you want to watch it on video or you want to listen to the audio. Both fine, both there. I want to make this available in as many formats as you like it. So leave me a comment below if you prefer podcasts, why you prefer podcasts, or do you prefer YouTube videos. Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to know that. So just to make it clear, Easy Peasy Ecom on this channel is going to be Easy Peasy Ecom also on the podcast. And then there's a second podcast that we're going to be starting, which is also going to be a video podcast, which is also going to be a video channel that get into more personal things. I want to share a little bit more of my personal side. I want to build a better relationship with you and share a lot more from me and what I've been through and the journey that I had, rather than what I do on this channel, which is a lot more e-commerce focused. Anyway, I'm super excited now that that's announced, now that that is out. We actually got to get to work and published everything. But you can already go ahead, subscribe, and make sure that you check out the links in the description for the other podcasts. So if you want to take me with you in your car, into the gym, or into wherever you want to listen to me, I'm super excited for that. So thank you for doing that with me. And just head over to the links in the description. Follow the podcast on whatever channel you prefer. Subscribe, leave me a review if you like it. I always appreciate that. And share it. There are other people in the world who might want the content, who might need the content, who that might need it. So just share anything that you felt was valuable. Just share it with the world. Feel free to do that. And I catch you in the next video or on the next kind of audio. So catch you then, have a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.